Why would you not be able to do it? Slay.
Right, shall we start then?
Let's do it.
Right,
Come on.
shall we start with introducing, who are you?
Heidi Boualili.
Heidi Boualili. And I did notice that recently. You was Heidi initially, and you've now introduced a surname.
Yeah,
What's behind that?
I think people don't know that that's my surname. The only people who kind of know that is obviously like people who I grew up with or friends and family and people who know me directly. Nobody else knew that that was my surname. And I think for me, it was just kind of, reintroducing who I am.
Yeah, more authentic.
Yeah.
Bringing it in. I know that you was probably worried in the past about spelling, people being able to actually read Boualili, but
Yeah.
it's not that complex, is it really?
No, I think like my close network always found it really easy, and I think it wasn't something that I'd ever thought about until I don't know, I think I always had an obsession growing up with having a different name, and I don't know if it was because
Yeah.
of you, because like you introduced me to hip hop at like such a young age, and all of them obviously went by like aliases, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Or like alternative names, like artist
exactly.
names like
Yeah,
Eminem
yeah.
and all those kind of,
There's been a few.
yeah, there's loads, and I think I always loved that. And then that's when I started rapping, and then went by Little McCoy.
Little McCoy.
Big up Little McCoy.
Little McCoy.
And
Yeah,
I don't know, I
was,
think I always just had like, I don't know what it was. It wasn't that like I was not trying to be myself. I think it was just I saw it was really cool and I liked that. And when I started releasing my own music, I then started to go by Heidi B because I was worried that Boualili was too hard.
Yeah.
So, and I started out with like all of the open mics and local gigs, and social media wasn't as prominent as it was then. And I think a lot of people were discovering me at shows.
Yeah.
So when I'm up on stage performing and being like, oh, I'm Heidi Boualili, and people are searching it online, they're not finding it.
No.
So Heidi B was just easier for me.
It's a lot easier, and I think a lot of people think that, but I think before you realise, people straight away, Boualili, it's going to stay there.
I think like the reason that I changed it and the reason that it kind of came about is because I just feel like Heidi worked really well with the dance music and everything that was kind of coming out, because it's bold, it's powerful, it's cool, and it is still my name.
Yeah.
But I think I then started going into sessions and people would be like to me, oh, what's your real name? Yeah. And I'm like, Heidi. And they're like, oh, that's your real name? And I'm like, yeah. And I think because I was going just by Heidi, people were thinking that it was like a stage name, and it wasn't. It's still my name. So when I started making this new music, and it just felt more raw and authentic, and to be honest, the songs that are coming out I wrote as Heidi Boualili. I didn't write them as Heidi, like, because they're from so long ago. So I was like, let me just kind of, almost it feels like I've gone back in time, like I cut all my hair off. I've gone back in time and I feel like my 14-year-old self again.
But you haven't. I think this has been your most authentic
100%. Yeah,
and you're going forward, and maybe you're thinking, actually, that's my name, I'm proud of that.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's so much that goes into it. I just wanted, like, I feel like that this music is so much raw, like I said, and authentic than anything that I've done. And I think that I wanted my name and everything about me to symbolize it. And I just thought, at the end of the day, if you like my music enough, you'll learn how to spell my name. And if you don't, then you don't. Like, it is what it is.
And it's even search engines, it's going to come up. It's going to come up. So it's not going to be a problem.
Why are you laughing? Wait, it's giving that podcast, remember the other day?
Raw.
It is raw.
What's she saying? It's raw, man. It's raw.
So much raw.
All right, so people know you then. It's all right. She's adding to it. Heidi know you. People know you. Sorry, as Heidi, and now Heidi Boualili. And I noticed that you created the account, and you're actually releasing. You've dropped recently a couple of your songs. What's to come? But we'll talk about that later. Okay. First of all, you've been around doing this for what feels like to me your whole life.
Yeah. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, this is my auntie.
Yeah.
If you can't tell
by
I get my good looks from my auntie.
Thank you, but no, that's not true. It's not true.
So, like, yeah, you've been there since Lil McCoy.
It was literally, that's all I can remember you doing.
I remember you took me to see Eminem when I was like 11, and I wore I literally got my face printed on a T-shirt with my Facebook page written on it. It's like Lil
was-
McCoy.
I know. What a cool first gig though.
I know, first gig ever, and like I was mental. I got beer thrown over me.
And we wasn't expecting Dr. Dre to show up that night.
It's crazy.
Come on.
I think we were a part of history that night.
We literally was, yeah.
That concert, hands down, is what made me like want to do this. Like,
Yeah.
so
I've never seen you come alive
before,
so
but like, yeah, that was like I
you
was
were just
gobsmacked.
Yeah. You were there. It was so great to see all of it. But there's a lot of things you've actually achieved that I'm not sure everyone knows about. Like there's like Sky News, for example.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Love
was
Island.
really random, the Sky News thing.
I mean, I know that made mum happy, Love Island.
Love Island was mental. I think all of it happened, everything really cool that's happened out of nowhere. Like, it all kind of started for me once. And I don't know, I'm going to talk about this on here, right? Can we just talk about the 23 thing? Because I mentioned it to you on FaceTime the other day. Did. So I've always had a feeling that like 23 is like a lucky number, and I think it came from I loved basketball, and Michael Jordan was obviously 23, so I think that's what I liked the number 23 so much. But I always just had a feeling like 23, I didn't know if it was the year or the age or something about, or if it would be the 23rd day. I just had a good feeling about 23. And in 2023, I signed my first record deal. And I had like this little vision board in my bedroom, and like I hadn't ticked nothing off of it. And for some random reason, on it was like a dance collab, and I'd never made dance music ever.
No, it's bizarre where that comes from.
I know, it was like dance collab, record deal, and then like just like a few other things that were on there, and then it'd been there for about 2 years and I'd never ticked anything off. And then all of a sudden, in the space of like 3 months, I'd ticked like most of it off. And it was like ridiculous. And I think I signed my record deal like the day after my 21st birthday. Yeah, literally the day after my birthday, which was like mental. And then within 3 weeks of signing the deal, I had the Love Island sync. And with the Love Island thing, it was like I'd got asked to record the cover, so I went in and I recorded the cover, but I don't think that the label or anybody had actually had any success. I think that's what I was told, that they hadn't had any.
So you didn't actually realise it was coming on
before. No, so I didn't know. I got basically just sent a list of songs to record, and I thought, oh, I like that song, I'll record that song. So I recorded the cover of Stay, and then I sent it back to the label like really quickly, like 2 days later, and they was like, oh wow, like we didn't think you'd actually send it. I'd only been signed to them for like a week, so it was like a really like quick turnaround. I'd never worked with these people before. And then they was like, oh, we'll send it to the team over at wherever, and they sent it and they said, oh, they really, really like it. And then there was like, we think they want to use it, they might not. So my label was like really cool about it, and they let me put it out independently, because if they had put it out, it would have taken like too long to be processed, and we needed it out quick. So they let me do it myself. Yeah, so I done it completely independently, like literally got it up onto streaming platforms like overnight, pretty much in like 2 days. Made the artwork on Canva at home really quickly, got it all uploaded, and then I was told, I got a text saying from the label saying, keep an eye on Love Island tonight. So I was like, oh my God, it's happening, this is it. So I literally drove home like so ridiculously fast.
We're not endorsing that, by the way, driving home fast. But...
yeah, drove home really quickly. Like I left my friend, I was like, sorry, I've got to go home. And it was Sam, and I text Sam and I was like, Sam, I'm going to be on Love Island tonight. Big up Sam Fraser. And he was like, oh, all right, fine, I'll watch it. I don't like it, but I'll watch it. If you're going to be on it tonight. And I went home, I watched it, got to the end of the episode, song hadn't been played. So I was like, oh. And it's one of those things, because it's like you shouldn't get excited about these things until they happen, because you just never know with the music industry. And then that was it. I didn't hear nothing back. And apparently there was like a problem or something. But I'd still just, at that point, I didn't think it was going to get played. And then I was out in the studio one night and I was on live stream and my phone started going bzz, bzz, mum calling, declining it. Everyone's calling me. And I'm like, what's going on? So I ended the live. I called my mum back and she's like hyperventilating on down the phone. She was like, come inside, put the telly on right now. So I ran in, put the telly on, and I put the telly on and it was like halfway through. And it was like the Will and Jesse scene and my song was playing in the background. And I was like, this is ridiculous. It's crazy.
Mum was just having a complete heart attack, wasn't she?
She was literally screaming. She's recording it in her bedroom like this, and she's like,
and it made her life like Love Island and her daughter. actually singing on
Her
Love
favourite is Love
Island.
Island, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah. In that moment, you peaked in her mind. That's it.
yeah,
It's going
that
to be
was
hard to
it.
kind of top that.
100%. But
But
yeah,
I
Love Island
mean,
was so cool.
that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
And the Sky News interview, you held your own so well.
Yeah.
I was so proud of you watching that.
It was a really difficult one as well, that one, because my manager contacted me and was like, do you want to go on Sky News? And I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, what's it about? And she's like, it's talking about like Glastonbury and how there wasn't any women headliners. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to talk about something like that. She was like, it's in half an hour. And I was like, what? And I was like, quickly tried to sort myself out and like log on. Like, I didn't know what I was going to say. I just literally went on and thought, I'm just going to talk about what I feel. And it was like really, like, it was such a cool thing to talk about.
So articulate. I mean, like, they was really impressed by you as well, I can remember.
Yeah. I think
really
the lady who was like interviewing me, I think because it's a hard topic, like talking about like the whole like, oh, women's thing, like I think sometimes people go on about it so much that it doesn't do the situation any favors.
Yeah.
And I think like I wasn't trying to come for Glastonbury or anything. Like
No.
it's my dream to play that festival. All I was saying is that like I think it would be disheartening as a young girl at home sat there watching a festival that you dream of playing one day and not seeing somebody like you. And I think it was that year Lizzo was listed as a co-headliner. And I think they was trying to be like, what, so are you saying like Lizzo deserves it more than Guns N' Roses? And what I was saying is like, absolutely not. Like Guns N' Roses is great, but it would just have been nice to have a female headliner so that the young girls at home had somebody to look up to. And again, it was such a taboo subject, and like you don't know what if you're going to say the right thing. But I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to speak with honesty, and if I was a kid at home, what I'd want, and that's exactly. I think that's the whole reason I've gone back to Heidi Boualili as well, because it's like my whole purpose of music has always been to be an example of people at home, like, oh, if she can do it, I can do it. And I never saw anybody like me in the industry when I was younger. And I think seeing somebody like Lizzo on a main stage at Glastonbury and headlining would have been so inspiring for.
Well, that's the thing I was going to say.
People.
You were so young. Music's just been your entire world. Like for you, growing up, who did you have to look up to in the industry? Your influences?
My influences were all very, very random. I think I took a lot of influence from Eminem. The most. He lyrically for me was like, he taught me about like telling stories and the importance of being open in music, because I think, and Tupac as well, like if you can't talk about something that is going on in your life, then what's the point? Because that's what separates a good songwriter and a good artist and somebody who can be both. Because if you're a good songwriter, cool, you can write songs and give them to other people and do all of that great stuff. And if you're an artist, you can perform and you can do really awesome things. But what brings both of those together and what I like in an artist is somebody who tells their own story and is somebody that can be relatable to anyone. So Eminem kind of taught me a lot about that, and like seeing how he was so honest and open in his music. Who else did I love growing up?
I still think he's going back to that, probably one of the best out there. I don't know if the best for that.
100%. Like the storytelling
like the
is
honesty
crazy.
to the point of maybe too much for a lot of people. But yeah, I completely understand that. I know what you mean by that. So they were your influences, because I know for a while you was Little McCoy.
Yeah, I just wanted to be a rapper. Like I just love rap.
You could rap so well.
Yeah, rapping is one of those things. I think I leaned so much into rapping because I couldn't sing, or
you thought you couldn't.
Yeah, I thought I couldn't. Like singing wasn't, and I still looking back at videos, like there's so many people that I see at that age who were so much better than me, and I just was very aware that like singing wasn't. I hadn't figured it out yet. Like I was getting better, but like I wasn't like naturally like a gifted singer. Like, and rapping just came so naturally to me. Like the flow. Anytime I wrote something, it made more sense as a rap than it did. Melodically. And so that's where I learned.
You seem to write. You're so impressive. And I'm not. None of this is bias at all. But the way that you just write a song, and you can just go in like that, and it's just like, how do you sit down? Like, do you have a way? You think, right, you get an idea, and where do these ideas come from?
Yeah, I think I've spent my whole life like being a massive overthinker. I definitely get that from you. But I kind of use it to my advantage in the sense that like I will literally overthink anything and everything. So I think for me, like, and the most important thing, and I spent the last year trying to, like, I've not released anything in so long, and the reason that I've done that is because I wanted to really figure out my purpose again, because I've always known I had a purpose, because I wouldn't have worked so hard if I hadn't. But like, I felt like I lost track of what my actual purpose was. So I feel like over this last year and a half or 2 years, I've really just been trying to figure out like who I am as an artist, as a person. And a lot of it comes back to that idea of like, I just wanted to be able to like be honest with my music. And for me, I've the way that it made sense to me in my head was, you know, I could write music for fun in my bedroom. What makes me want to put it out to people? It's like giving somebody my diary and letting them read it. Why do I do that to myself?
You wear your heart on your sleeve, and that is the thing with your, so because you are probably one of the most honest people I know. That is your makeup. But that reflects in your music as well.
Yeah, and I think that's literally what's so scary about it, is like I had to sit there to myself and be like, why do I put myself through like that emotional drainage of like putting it out? And I thought about it, and the reason is because I've always, like, with my anxiety, it's been with everything, it's always been heavy reliant on reassurance. And I've really thought about it and like tried to therapize myself about it and be like, well, why do I do it? And I think it's because when I write a song about my deepest faults and like my biggest insecurities and my biggest worries, and I play it to somebody and they go, I relate to that. It makes me feel a little bit less crazy.
It's true.
Because it's like, oh, okay, fine, you sabotage things. But like, with sabotage is like, and I'm trying to ruin things. I'm like, oh, okay, you do that too. So it's okay if I do it. So it's a bit of a selfish reason that I make music, because it reassures me that I'm not alone in what it is that I'm feeling.
Maybe it's that cathartic release as well. What would you say is a song out there that we know that was the hardest to allow others to hear? Like, that was the most personal and deepest and raw to you? You just opened up and was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna say this is how I'm feeling.
Probably Straight Jacket most recently, because I think that was like something that was so raw. And I don't think I've ever posted that one yet, or kind of maybe I've done like one video on it, but Straight Jacket was a hard one. I think anything that I've been writing recently has been that,
really
because
brutal.
like it's been so honest with like what I've been through in past relationships, and then it causing dramas with everything that's going on, and then people getting angry that I'm writing songs about them, and then I'm like, yeah, but that's the only way for me to deal with
life,
it,
though, isn't it?
And everything I've been writing recently, I feel like, has been a reflection of what's going on in my life. And some people don't like it, some people
You're never
going
to please everyone.
Exactly. I just think, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm not writing it to please people. I'm writing it because it like keeps me stable.
That's what you love too, and I don't think you could live another life. I think this is the only thing really for you. You're so passionate about it. This is I don't think you could breathe without music.
100%. Like, if everything went away tomorrow, like, I'd still find a way to pick up a guitar and make music. Like, even if I could never post it online, even if I could never share it, like, I genuinely couldn't not do music. Like,
that right there is what's gonna keep you there. It's the love. You can't breathe without it. So therefore,
it's like when I went to Turkey last year, I had to take my guitar because I couldn't go 2 weeks. And when we went to
tell that story.
we went to Mallorca a couple years ago, and I didn't take my guitar, and I was like, I'm just gonna go on holiday, like, relax. And I got there 24 hours in, I was like, I want to go home, because I didn't have a guitar. I was like, I literally want to go home. So I like went online and looked for a music shop, and there was one, but it was like quite far away. So I made everybody, like, literally mum, dad, like the whole family, everyone we'd gone away with, get on a 2.5 hour coach into like Mallorca town. And it was then like an hour's walk. Well, it was like a 40-minute walk to the first music shop. Poor mum was like hobbling along because she can't really walk properly. Mum was like hobbling along. It was sweating. We get to the music shop. They didn't have the guitar. They didn't have any guitars. Layla bought a ukulele though, so slay. But I was like, well, I've come all this way, I'm gonna have to go. And he was like, oh, it's our other music shop that have the guitar. So I was like, I'm just gonna walk. So mum and dad stayed there, and then I went off walking. I'd walked like an hour away. So this point is like an hour and 40 minutes walking in like the ridiculous heat.
Wow.
I got the guitar. I didn't come with a case or nothing. So I'm like walking around Mallorca with like a guitar like over my shoulder like this, like a box, like a big box, and with a guitar, carrying it, and then like took it back on the bus another 2.5 hours back, and then just brought it home with me.
I mean, who does that? Where has anyone ever heard a story like that? You're in Mallorca.
I literally like made my whole family travel like 4 hours on a bus with no air conditioning to get a guitar because I couldn't go.
You couldn't go
any longer without it. And like, I'm so glad I'd done it. Like I remember making like a capo out of a pencil because I didn't have a capo. So I was like borrowed some hairbands and got a capo and like got a pencil and made a capo just so that I could write songs and like do music. Like I genuinely can't go without making music or being near music at all.
And I think it's being that person that will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing this, aren't you, for the rest of your life?
Yeah, 100%.
One way or the other.
Yeah, there's no way that it's going to go away. I think it's like a massive thing for me, especially like with the new stuff that's coming out. These songs have been around since I was like, some of them since I was like 16.
I know, literally.
That's one of them. There we go.
Literally, that was a nice drop. That was a little welcome. Yeah, that was. I know recently you've just released. Do you want to say it?
Yeah, what, just put some stuff online?
Well, yeah. What you introduced the other day on your new page on Heidi Boualili.
Yeah, so I think let's just start at the beginning of the whole process, because it's hard to like go straight to that without talking about everything. And you know, I've been signed with the same label, Freebeat, for a while now, since 2 years. And like they've been literally incredible. But they signed me off of dance music. That's how I got introduced to them. That's what they signed me for. So then after those 2 songs came out, Do You Remember Me and Blind, they done really well. Obviously, Blind got like Radio 1 play, ridiculous amount of Radio 1 play. Do You Remember Me was like viral. And then I was basically just doing so many sessions, but all of the stuff that was coming out of these sessions were dance music. So all right, cool, like prepping for what's like next. And I was excited about it. I still loved making the dance music. And then whenever we would have like our team meetings, or sometimes in that process, because I didn't know what songs were going to be coming next, I would just drop like a snippet of like maybe something I'd written years ago. And everything that the label started to really like would be songs that are like not dance music. So I was like, oh, okay, I've been not doing that stuff because I thought you guys wanted dance music. So it's not like I ever stopped, like I was still doing it. I just wasn't sending it to them because I didn't think it's what like they would want. So then I started writing more back kind of stuff, where what I was doing, and started to kind of really find myself. And I sat down with the label, and basically like it was actually them that said to me that like they was like, we see you playing live and it's you and your guitar, like you're doing that, like it's not the dance music, like we want your music to reflect you and what you love. And I was like, oh sick, like I don't have to like, you know, do something that, not that I didn't want to do it, but like it's not like I can just be myself, and that's it, that will be enough. And I thought, wow, like that's so sick. And I love that they supported that so much. So we basically kind of took a beat and was like, all right, what do we do now? So I just started working again with the people that I really loved working with, making music on my own. And then I obviously went on tour with Lewis Fitzgerald, which was sick. The first ever UK tour.
Yeah.
Which was sick. It was so cool. Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, the tour. Well, the tour was mental. Like me and Lewis have been friends for a long time. We met in a studio.
Shout out Lewis.
Big up Lewis. Come on. Yeah, we'd met in a studio at like 1 a.m. one night, and my friend called me and was like, oh, Lewis is here, like do you want to come down and meet him, like he liked your stuff. I was like, yeah, cool. So I went down, and it was like, I was like, oh, this guy's doing so well, like this is gonna be cool. And he was like, well, sing to me then. And I got there, I was like, okay. And like we just played Tennessee Whiskey, and we was singing together, and we was doing Tennessee Whiskey with like a mashup of I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James. And it was like, he was like, yeah, let's go up to the studio now. Like, so we went upstairs and we made a song together. which has never been released. We just jammed to it. It's
I
a
love
Silent
that song,
Speak
by the way.
song.
I
It's
still
really
listen
cool.
to it.
Such a
Yeah,
good
I
song,
love
yeah.
it.
And then I actually he recorded, sorry, sound like a man. He recorded the vocals to his song. And then this was like 4 a.m. And then I then recorded the vocals to Gasoline, which is going to be one of the songs that's coming out eventually soon. So I recorded the vocals to that song at like 4 a.m. in the morning. Lewis was there. And yeah, we'd just been friends. Like, we'd never really made much music together, but we just got along really well and just became really good
got
mates.
a really good relationship.
And we would just go and get, like, when I went for a breakup, we was both going through it, and then we would just go out and like get smashed like every weekend, like go to all of the clubs, and was just doing a madness. And we'd get given like free booths at places because they're like, oh, you know, these two people are from TikTok, and we'd get like double the extra stuff because we'd both be there, and like we're like, yeah, sick. So we're just getting free bottles everywhere we go. And yeah, we just would have a good time, and we just were really good mates. And then he obviously announced his first UK tour, and him and his team was like, let's get Heidi on it. So yeah, it was really cool because it was like I traveled with them as well. Normally, like on a tour like this, when you're doing a massive tour and it's like a big tour bus, sometimes the support act goes on the tour bus with the main artist, but like most of the time the support artists travel separately because you've got like separate crews. But because obviously like the budget as well was like ridiculously tight on my end, like him and his team let me travel with them and like all of that stuff. So like it was so cool that but it was his first headline tour. It was my first time ever on a tour. So to get to like experience that together was so good.
Had so much fun.
It was really fun. We went to like some crazy bars. We went to, what's it called? NG something? NG 13 or something like that. I don't know. It's basically like an arcade club. So like you go in there and there was like, I don't know how we got such cheap drinks. I think it was one of the boys was a student.
Right.
So he was getting us like student discount on the drinks. And the drinks were so cheap. And like you could pay like 20 quid and get like 20 tokens. And then you use those tokens and it's like arcade games. So like you've got like Pac-Man, but like old school.
Oh my God.
Like
where
real
was
Pac-Man
that?
machines.
Where was that?
I think it's a northern thing. It's NG something. I don't know what it's called. Erin, Google what it's called. It's like NG 13 or NG 16. I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a northern thing. But I don't know if they've got any in London. But that was in Leeds. We went there in Leeds. That was gangster.
Where was one of your favourite like locations that you visited? You went to quite a few. Where did you go?
So we started off. We done a show in London, obviously Camden, which was really cool. That first show was so stressful because we was running behind on sound check, and like I'd only got the tracks for my songs like 2 days before, so I was really stressed on that first show. And then the second show we done was Lewis done a show in Leeds, but it was like a festival show, so I wasn't on that lineup, but I still just went for the vibes. So we went out that night after the show in Leeds, which was really, really cool. That was the night we proper went out. So that was really cool. Then we went to Manchester. Manchester was really cool. The pub was like proper old school vibes, and like the venue was really cool. It was like there was like water leaking from the ceiling. I felt like a proper like gangster.
Manchester is
and
cool.
But we was gonna go out in Manchester, but then it was like a Sunday, and like we just couldn't really see anywhere like to go. So we just like had a couple drinks like at the show in the green room and stuff, which was good fun. And then the last one was Birmingham. Birmingham was like my favourite.
You did like Birmingham, didn't you?
Birmingham was like my favourite show that we done. I don't know why. The vibes were so good.
It's the atmosphere.
The atmosphere was really, really good. People were really cool. But yeah, I'd say like Birmingham was really cool. And then the second London show was really good. That was the last one. Right, yeah, that one was good as well. Yeah. The tour was wicked. And I think like the tour for me was that was the changing point for that, because some of the label came to the show, and like obviously they were seeing videos from the tour, and I'd never sent them Poco Loco, and they heard it on my story from somebody sharing it, and they was like, what the hell is that song, and why have you never sent it to us? And I was like, well, I wrote it when I was like 17, like I didn't think you'd want to hear it. So I sent them that demo, and then they also really loved Take Our Time, which was like my opening song, which was so lucky because I'd not sang that song on the rest of the tour. And it was a change I made on the day. And I was like, I'm going to try Take Our Time. Like, I've not done it in years. Like, let's see what happens. So I done Take Our Time, and then they was like, where is that song? And I was like, I just have never sent it to you guys. I didn't think you'd like want it. And that tour was like the change of everything. Like, because I was like, they're our songs, and that's what we've got to go with.
And you know what? That's always been Mum's favourite.
Yeah, it has always been Mum's favourite.
She does like a bit of Poco Loco.
Yeah, and I was really, we'd been working on 2 others. We'd been working on Gasoline and You Make It Easy with Cam Blackwood, which was like so fun, really cool. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? Yeah. So we'd already been working on those 2, and then they heard those songs and was like, we got to do those as well. So like we then literally from the turnaround from that tour, obviously that was in November, we then like the versions that I had of those songs were so old, so like it's not like November, Jesus. November. And then it was hard because it's like we was moving really quickly, but from that tour was the end of November, so it was like the 22nd of November. But then you think everybody goes away for Christmas, right? So like we only had like a week to like plan stuff before everybody disappeared for like 2 weeks. So we was like, all right, cool, like let's put some stuff in place. So I booked in a session with a really cool producer that was introduced to me called T, an artist called T, and I checked out his stuff and I was like, yeah, this guy's sick, because my vision for these songs was that they were like really acoustic, really pop, but I really wanted to find a way to put like the urbanness feel into it.
Yeah,
because
which you always do, actually.
Yeah, I think it's and I just wanted that. I wanted the production to reflect that, because I feel like in my head when I'm writing it, that's what I hear. But like I never kind of figured out how to articulate that for a production way.
Have, like, even in Poco Loco, like you just recorded, like when I listen to it, I'll be honest with you, and she is my lady. She's tattooed on my leg. I'm getting Lauren vibes.
Yeah.
Lauren Hill. Shout out.
Big up Lauren Hill.
My one and only.
Yes, come on.
And I'm hearing that she could actually sing that song and make it work.
Yeah.
And for me, that's like...
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is a track.
Well, that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't realise that Lauren Hill was like a massive influence on me until I made Poco Loco.
Yeah.
Because I got into that session and I was like just talking in metaphors to this poor guy. I don't know how he dealt with me in that session, because I'm like, I want it to sound like, I don't know, that like and I was just using like these crazy analogies that made zero sense. And he was like, okay, yeah, like I feel that. And then he genuinely just captured everything that I wanted from that song. And like it had the perfect balance of like me and the pop side of things, but the urbanness and the old school American hip hop feel.
The keys. I love the keys.
Yeah, literally just everything. Like, and I was so excited. Like when I'd heard those 2 songs when I got the first versions back, and I think the first version of Poco Loco that we'd run out of time in the session, so we only literally had half the song recorded. So it was literally like the first verse and chorus, and I remember playing it on the way home, and I was like, this is it. Like this is gonna be. This is perfect. Yeah, I just like had a feeling. I just had a feeling, and I was like, this is gonna be the one. And then same with Take Our Time. Like it just all came together so quickly, and then we got the final versions finished. We went back in for because I just wanted to make sure they were perfect. So I just kept going back into the studio to listen to them and just make sure everything was cool. Obviously sending them to you guys.
Like about over 6 years ago, I can remember listening to that in the song, singing, loving it.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of went quiet.
Just disappeared.
We just sort of shifted it.
Yeah.
And now it's back.
I think that played a massive part in my name change, because I think like Poco Loco, I wrote it by myself. Like I wrote it by myself at home in my bedroom. And I think the reason it went quiet, like you said, I was playing it everywhere and then I never played it again. And I think for me, it was like, when I started playing it and people liked it recently on the tour, I was like, oh, I done that. Yeah. Like I done that. Like 17-year-old me made that song and people like it.
And you even learnt Spanish.
I know, like song. Google Translate. Yeah.
And you made it work.
Yeah, it's cool. Like with that song, I think it inspired me to be like, you know, I think the reason it went quiet is because I was working with such cool people in the industry, and I'm like, these people have got like plaques on the wall. I've got nothing. Like, I'm just
you've been to Abbey Road. I mean, what?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like some of the like I've walked across that same zebra crossing. I've had a picture on that exact zebra crossing, and like
you was actually invited there, which is even crazier. Like
that was a crazy story because I knew that I was going in to record some vocals with Lorna Blackwood. Shout out Lorna, and I didn't know where I was going, and I got an email from like Abbey Road Institute. Oh, you've got your booking for da da da, and I was thinking, this is a scam, right? It's like, why have they emailed me? Surely it would go through my manager and then come to me. Like, why has it directly come to my email? I'd not heard anything about it. So I tried to contact my manager, the label. Nobody's answering me because everybody's at Glastonbury, right? So everybody goes like dead for like a couple of days. Nobody's answering me, but I've got an email saying that I need to be at Abbey Road on Friday. So I literally called up Abbey Road. I got their number off Google and I was like, this sounds really random, but like, am I booked to come and see you guys on like whatever date it was? And they was like, oh, let me have a look. And there was like, oh yes, we've got a booking for Heidi and like the session name. And I was like, oh, all right then. I was like, see you there. And like, it was literally like, it was like a movie going in there. Like, it was insane. But like, that's it. You kind of get a little bit of imposter syndrome,
yeah,
because it's like you're working with these people and like they've got plaques, you're going to these ridiculous studios, and I'm just like, I'm just a kid who makes music in my bedroom, like at the end of the day.
But you're being invited there.
I know, and I think that's what like made it easier to be just Heidi, because I would like not associate with me, but like I'm like, oh, Heidi's doing that stuff, but like, you know, it was kind of a good way for me to like switch in and out of like, I deserve this, or you know, I don't deserve this kind of vibe. And I think making Poco Loco and these songs that I made before I'd done any of that, and they're the songs that the label want me to put out, and they like those songs that I actually didn't
that must feel
come out of those sessions. And it felt so it reminded me that like I kind of am meant for this in a way, like without it being too like cringy or big-headed. It's like it reminded me that like I can do it. And like, cool, some of the people that I've worked with are insane, and like, you know, some of the songs that have come out of these sessions will be released, but like you said, the stuff I've been writing recently is really good, and they're all from these sessions and working with really cool people. But it also reminded me that if I do want to write a song by myself, I can. And like I shouldn't run away from that.
Like lately, what I've seen the past 6 months plus, you just been, I'm like, whoa, every time you drop one, I'm like obsessed with it. I'm walking the streets, blaring it out, playing it. People are looking at me like I'm crazy because I love the tracks.
Yeah, they're cool. They're good.
Everyone is getting stronger.
I'm excited. I'm really excited about what's coming next. I think that's like why I kind of wanted to do this. Like I've felt like I fell off the face of the earth. Not that I fell off the face of the earth, because I've been posting, but like I said, I wanted to rediscover my purpose, to like work on myself and get where I felt that I needed to be. And I felt like I needed all of that to happen to be able to make the best music that I possibly can. And I think that's why I kind of took a little bit. I think people think I took like a massive break away, like the last 2 years that I've not released music. Like, you know, like family knows, I've been in sessions. You've
weekly, still been active as well
all the time.
Online,
I've still been posting. I just think I've not put anything out because I just wanted to do it at the right time. And I think going through like the whole weight loss thing, and
that's another thing. Talk about that, because people have been following you for some people for years. And they've obviously seen a dramatic change.
I mean, the weight loss thing was like really hard for me because I started to really struggle with it. I've always been big my whole life, and then I'd never really struggled with it that much, but then it got to a point where I remember like there's just things that only fat people understand, and obviously you've been big as well, so you understand it. But like I remember the day that I signed my record deal, like I typed in the name of the restaurant that we was going to see if they had arms on the chairs, because if they had arms on the chairs, I'd panic, because like I'd be uncomfortable sat in there because I'd be too big for them. And I think the day that I'd done that, I thought, I just don't want to have to worry about that anymore. And I'd always tried to lose weight, and like I tried Slimming World and tried to do it naturally, and nothing could. I would really try, and I could never lose any more than a stone. And like I had a lot more than a stone that I needed to lose. So like it would like stop, and I'd be really trying. Even as a kid, like nothing would ever work. And I then obviously thought about like surgery, and I didn't want to do it because, you know, I've got ridiculous health anxiety. But then I think it got to a point where I was like, I'm so fat, I'm going to die anyway. So I should probably just risk it and see what happens. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And I obviously decided to get a gastric sleeve in October
Of
20. I don't know what the year was.
wasn't
Not
last
this.
year, it was the year prior, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so
So
2023.
23. So there you go again.
2023.
23.
Another
What?
23. We got to come back to that 23
Another
thing. Yeah, so
23.
got that in 2023. So it's been like a year and a
Maybe
half
that
now.
was your year, 23. Maybe it's like that year Heidi's actually born. Like you're
Yeah.
becoming you. You're becoming your authentic self.
I know, it's
The
crazy.
weight loss has just been like, I don't even recognise you anymore.
Yeah, it's weird.
Every time
It's
I
so
see you,
strange.
you're getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
How
It's
does it
been really hard. Like,
how does it feel going? Because I mean, I know, but for you, how does it go from feeling okay, you're a certain size and you're going to call restaurants, check seats, and then now you can go into a shop. What does it feel like?
the process was crazy.
And
It wasn't good
buy?
for my bank. It was not good for my
No,
bank, honestly, at all. Like, I think I didn't realize how much I struggled with my weight until I lost it.
you
So
never
like,
do.
and I didn't get to think about it much while it was happening, because I don't know if you even know, but I
Mm,
don't know if you remember, but I had my surgery
mm.
and my surgery got postponed.
Yeah.
Because there was like a leak in the hospital or something.
Oh, okay.
There was like a flood. So the operation was meant to happen a day after I got back from Amsterdam, when I got flown out for ADE for the dance music festival. That was
Yes.
really cool as well. And it was meant to be the day I got back that I went for the surgery, and the hospital flooded because it was when it was flooding, because it was up in Birmingham and it was like loads of floods up there.
Yeah.
And it got postponed a week. And that week was the week that my song came out, Blind.
Right.
So I was like, oh,
Which was
shit, like,
huge.
what do I do? Like, I'm going to be in the middle of a campaign, but like this surgery is
Then
going to
going
be
for
life changing for
surgery.
me, and I
Yeah.
can't. So I
No.
was like, do you know what? I'll just get everything prepared.
Yeah.
So I done it all. I went for the surgery. I had the surgery. I just said to my like team, I'm just going to be gone for like a day. I'll be back on the emails. Don't worry, like it's fine. So I like pre-filmed some content and stuff, had the surgery, and then I was in so much more pain than I thought that I'd be in.
Yeah.
So it took me a bit longer than I thought to like feel better. And then like 2 days after my surgery, someone from Freebeat called me up and was like, I know you've just had surgery, but like, how do you feel about doing an interview on Radio 1? And I was like, yes, like I don't care, like I'll do it from my bed, like I literally don't care, like absolutely. There was like, Jack Saunders wants to interview you, can you do it? And I was like, sorry, love Jack Saunders, there's no way I'm saying no to Jack Saunders. Like I don't care what I have to do to feel better, like give me some paracetamol, I'm ready to go. And then I kind of feel like I didn't even, because I had to be so present in my music, I didn't even really think about the surgery. I kind of forgot that it happened, because obviously I was still like really struggling with it, but like I just didn't have time to think about it or worry. And then before I knew it, I'd lost like 2 or 3 stone, because obviously at the beginning it comes off really quickly. And then I'm like, oh, like my knees don't hurt when I walk anymore. And it all happens very quickly. Like, so from that point, it was like, oh, my knees don't hurt anymore. Then it was, oh, like I need to buy some new clothes. So like I bought a few new clothes. And then it was like, before I knew it, I genuinely was like, I'm gonna cut my hair. Like I was going through like a midlife identity crisis. Yeah, I was like, it was like just before Christmas. Obviously, I had the operation in October, end of October, like pretty much Halloween. And then this was like like a week before Christmas. And I remember saying to my mum, I've just booked an appointment at the hairdresser, so I'm going to go get all my hair cut off. And she was like, no, why? And I was like, I'd always told myself when I lost weight, I'd cut it again. Because I don't know why, I just didn't want to be fat with short hair. So I was like, I'll wait until I've lost weight. I don't know why I thought that, but I just thought that. And I thought, I've lost a couple of stone now, I'm just going to do it. So I went, got my hair cut. It was terrible, like a terrible haircut, because like, my hair was so long, so like this poor woman, like she'd done a good job with what she had, but it was not like wasn't what I wanted. And I'd gone to a hairdresser, so the next day I was like, get me to a barber's. So I went to the barber's. I went even shorter, and then like the hair started to get a little bit better from there. I did go through like a really bad phase once where I got like a terrible skin fade with like zigzags that was like awful.
Hair grows back,
but it comes back. And I think that at that point, that was when I was like at my happiest I'd ever been. I'd like was going through a breakup, and then I felt like I finally started to like be okay on my own. I was like going out all the time. I was having fun. I was just saying yes to everything, like anything that happened. And I was still doing music stuff, but like I was just like living my life with my friends and like everything that was going on.
You need
and
that.
I just felt like that was like a really big thing for me. And then I was like, all right, cool, like what now? And then before, like you said, the difference with the weight loss just made me feel so much better about myself. Before I knew it, I could like go into the high street and go into H&M and buy clothes. And
buy
before I couldn't do that
something.
because like they don't do 5XL. Do you know what I mean? So like that, terrible. Like literally I was spending so much money that now I'm like, why did I do that? But I think I was so excited that I could finally do it, that I was doing it. But then I really messed up because it was like, well, as soon as I could fit into like those stores like 3XL, I'd go buy it. But then a couple weeks later they're too big again and I got to go buy more. So like I should have just held off, but I didn't. I was just so excited to be able to buy stuff. I didn't have to look at restaurants anymore. I didn't have to worry about like when I was going to my sessions on the train, if the train things were too, like it was ridiculous. And I think I noticed the most when I lost like the first 5 stone. And then from that point, I remember that was like February time. I'd lost about 5 stone. And then since then, I've lost like another 6 stone.
How much is
it
in total?
In total, I think it's like 11 stone 10. So like nearly 12 stone, getting to near to that 12 stone. But yeah, I think I'd lost 5. And then since then, I've lost another 5. Yeah, like another 6 and a bit. But like from that point, I don't really notice it as much because I think the big notice difference for me was being able to shop. Like on my vision board was to be able to shop in JD. Like I wanted to go in JD. I've not been able to go in JD since I was like 14. Do you know what I mean? Like so that was all just so exciting for me. And like I think the weight loss helped me like find myself again and just feel comfortable in who I am, my self-worth, like that I'm worthy. And also I just feel like the only way that I can describe being fat to people who aren't fat is like almost like a body dysmorphia, but not body dysmorphia in like I don't know, it's almost like how I see myself on the inside isn't how I looked. That's the only way that I felt like I felt like this on the inside, but I was dressing in these awful clothes because I couldn't find anything cooler. I was leaving the house looking terrible because like what was the point? Like, that was the only way that like I could describe it. Like I've always, you know me, like since a kid I've always been like a bit of a daredevil, get me a skateboard, I want to go skate park. Like I wanted to be able to like have a midlife crisis and get a skateboard. Yeah, exactly. Do sport. And like I just couldn't because I was so big. And I think going from like 26 stone to like where I'm at now, where am I now? 14 stone 5 is like such a massive difference in everything that I'm doing. Like I remember I hadn't done any gigs since I'd done one gig a couple weeks after my surgery at the Christmas lights, but I was still big. I'd only lost like a stone. And then I hadn't done a gig until the April time, and I'd lost 5-ish stone. Like and when I done that gig, I was like, my back don't hurt. Like I used to do this really awkward thing on stage like that because my back would always hurt me. And I just thought it was my back. I didn't think it had anything to do with my weight. And then I done the show and I was like, my back didn't hurt. I didn't struggle to pick the jack lead up. Like everything was just so different. Yeah, and it just made me feel so much better about everything.
I can see such a difference in you because even though, you was big, confidence has never been a problem for you, has it?
Nah, yeah, I've always been a bit of a
which I think is great. And I mean, for a lot of people out there, where I know that you can become, it does affect your confidence, but it didn't with you, did it?
No.
You still got up on that stage.
Yeah, I was. I'm genuinely probably more insecure now than when I was bigger. Which is the hardest thing because it's like you go through all of that for me to just feel insecure. And it's weird because at the same time in one breath I'm like, yeah, this is the best I've ever felt. But then in another breath it's like, well, actually I think it's more so I feel bad for my bigger self. Like I feel bad that I put myself through it because when I was going through it, I didn't feel sorry for myself. I like you said, I was the most confident person in the room. I was the loudest person in the room. I didn't care about anything. And then I would get up and perform in front of anybody. I was never shy to meet people. I've always been a confident person. But then it wasn't until I lost the weight and I'm like I feel sorry for Heidi, man. Like why did I do that to her? Yeah, like I literally like, and I think people say like with the whole weight loss surgery it's like, oh, it's the easy way out. And it is because I genuinely like it's easy. I get people say like it's not easy and but like yeah, like you are having surgery to help you lose weight. Like you lost yours naturally, yeah. You done that yourself. But like I couldn't do it. Like that was the reality, is I genuinely couldn't do it.
I wouldn't even say it's easy. Even when you go down that road, for people that do opt to do that, I wouldn't say they're taking the easy way out. It's like, okay, they've exhausted trying. And it's still not easy having an operation.
No, it's
somebody
scary.
with health anxiety.
Yeah,
That must
scary.
have been
It's really scary. But like at the end of the day, like I accepted that. And I think it's really okay to accept that. Like sometimes you just need help.
Yeah.
Like, and sometimes like I couldn't do it by myself. Like, yeah, okay, I had surgery, but like I couldn't do it by myself. And I'm so like, having that surgery was the best decision I ever made in my entire life. And the only thing that I would ever regret is I didn't get it sooner. But like, and I think it's that's why I talk about it. I remember you saying to me like, oh, are you going to post about it or are you not going to post about it? And I was like, yeah, because when I was deciding to get the surgery, my biggest insecurity was that the only people that I know who have had like bariatric surgery are like older people.
Yeah.
I don't know any 21-year-olds, or well, I was 21 at the time. I didn't know any 21, 22-year-olds that had it. And I was scared, like, am I doing this too young?
No.
And I think it's really important for me to talk about, because the only thing that I genuinely regret is not getting it sooner, because I feel like now I don't have to live the rest of my life struggling to just get it at 40 anyways.
There's also pros to getting it younger than older. You're not going to develop type 2 diabetes now. There's things that you're taking away the strain from your body, you know. So I think doing it sooner is actually not a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't regret it.
For younger people that may be thinking they can't, or
if I'd have left it any longer, my body would have been mash up. Like I wouldn't be able to go to the gym. I wouldn't be able to be.
Your bones,
yeah, exactly. Like I'm glad I'd done it before I really hurt my body, because then I'd struggle to keep the weight off because I wouldn't be able to go to the gym. And I think like the surgery helps you get the weight off, but you know it doesn't help you keep it off. Like you still got to do the work to keep it off.
Are you mentally still that girl inside?
100%. I think I'll always be. It's being fat is a mental thing. 100%. Like even now, like I have a very unhealthy relationship with food. Like whenever I eat food, I genuinely feel like it's the last time I'm eating. Like I'm like, this is the last time I'm gonna get to eat this. That's how I feel inside. What is wrong?
I know.
Because that is how I feel when I eat. It's like I love this. It tastes so good. Like I just want to eat it all because and I'm like, I remember like last night I took Erin some toast up and I was like, oh, I really want some toast. But I wasn't hungry. And I was like, there'll be toast in the morning, Heidi. Like, what the fuck? Like, calm down. I'm like, I just really want to bite on the toast. And I'm like, but you're not hungry. And like, it's actually a mental thing. And like, I'll still always have that. And sometimes I do find myself like falling for it sometimes and eating when I know that I shouldn't be, or that I'm not even hungry, because it is literally a mental thing. And like even like physically, like I'll look at myself and I don't see the weight loss, and it will only be if I have a picture. And I'm really sad that I didn't take more pictures of my body like when I was bigger, because like that's the only way that I can see it. Because I'll look at myself and I'll still think I look the same, but the only way I can do it is if I put two pictures next to each other and be like, okay, yeah, like I can tell now.
But you'll be doing this again soon, because your weight loss isn't over.
Yeah,
you've still got
there.
weight, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't think I want to lose much more, to be honest. Like I'm very. If I stayed at this, like my goal weight was 15 stone.
Yeah.
And I'm now 14.5. So like I've well surpassed. What I wanted to lose. But like obviously I think you get to that goal weight and you're like, oh yeah, I can lose a little bit more. But I'm genuinely content where if I stayed this weight for now, for forever, I'd be so happy. Like I can fit into every clothes that I want. I don't have to like go to fat shops and big up yours. Do you know what I mean? But like I just hated yours. Like why am I having to go to yours to buy some jeans? I just want to go to Primark even. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't go to Primark or whatever. And yeah, like I think just buying, like I can fit into the clothes that I want. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. Like I don't struggle performing nowhere near as much as I used to. Everything feels so much better. So like if I genuinely stay like this for the rest of my life, I'd be so happy. Yeah. But you know, if I lose a bit more, great. If I don't, then as long as I can maintain it, then I'm happy.
This is the happiest I've seen you do like for a long time, and I didn't realise it, but I know now.
Yeah, it's weird,
now,
isn't it?
this past year has been for me. It's like Heidi she's going somewhere.
It's so
There's
weird.
something going
It's kind
on.
of scary, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because I've not released music in so long, and now everything's
People
happening.
are not going to be able to believe this though. What you got coming?
Yeah. I genuinely, I'm so excited now. I think I went through a phase of being so scared because I hadn't done it for so long. And then I was like, oh, well, what now? Like, I don't know how to do this anymore. And then I just thought, do you know what? Like, it's just music. Like, just you just post what you love. And if other people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But like the fact that I've worked so hard to kind of get where I am now, to tell my news story, I think like everybody has a purpose with music, and I feel like finding that reason of like, even that thing that I just said earlier about like that reassurance, and the more people like it, the more I feel reassured about my own emotions. Like, I think figuring out the reason that I make music, why I want to do it, who I am as well. And like I'm so happy to be changing my name, because it's like, it's me. Like, people from school, the people who took the piss out of me at school, like, they know me as Heidi Boualili. Like, everybody knows me as that. So like, it, for all of us, it feels like a very natural change. But I can understand from outside, like, probably most of these people didn't even probably know that I was half Algerian. And like, that being like, why has she got such a foreign surname and she's so white? Like, I think it's so like, you know, and I think it's just important to be like, well, it's just me, and like, this is who I am. And
going back to that though, the bullying, that was a hard time. Do you want to talk about that?
I don't know, I think what I went through at school was like, it was really shit. And again, it's like, now I look back and I feel really sorry for my younger self. But when I was in it, I literally didn't care.
No.
Like, don't get me wrong, there were times where I was like really hurt and really upset, but like, I just remember like getting absolutely abused at school. But like, I'd post a video every Monday or every, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm still like dragging Lauren to like your house to film a chicken nugget challenge while people are calling me a fat cunt. And I'm scoffing 20 chicken nuggets on a YouTube video. Like, I didn't care. Like, people would be like, oh, nice video. I'd be like, oh, cheers, mate. Like, I didn't care. Like, they're just being sarcastic and horrible. And like, I just didn't care, because I always knew that I'd make something of myself. And like, I remember all these people like saying horrible stuff about my singing, about my videos when I was kids, when I was doing like little McCoy stuff, everyone taking a piss. And I remember the day that I signed my record deal and I posted it, the amount of messages from those same people who would say those things, messaging me. And I'm like, I did try to tell you guys, like, when I was 14 that I was going to do something. Nobody was listening. Like,
you did.
But it was hard. Like, I think it's something that when you're going through, you just have to, like, being the only kid at school, like, being a girl that looked more like a boy, but like, not only did I look like a boy, but I was fat, and I literally, like, I didn't make it easier for myself. Like, I was like filming these shitty videos, but like, I didn't care. I genuinely really didn't care. No. And I think that's like probably what made me do this, really, because,
and I think you'll take that strength in your next step. 100%, in the industry.
Yeah,
you've got that. You don't 100. Care. You literally don't care.
Yeah, I really didn't care. I think
like that. What advice would you give right now to? Cause you've got a lot of young followers.
Yeah,
who are being bullied.
I think that, like,
because it's getting harder now.
Yeah, it's worse, so much worse. Yes,
I've just watched, and I know everyone's talking about it.
I think for me, like, it's actually quite controversial, but like, I found my safe place in social media, because again, like, it's probably not the best thing to be promoting, especially with all of this, but I think if you're doing it in a safe way and you've got parents monitoring it, like,
absolutely, then
for me, I've started to post videos. I had my first viral video when I was like 12, and I remember it got like 12,000 views overnight, and it was a terrible video, but I thought I was famous. Like, I was like, this is it. And I was like, for somebody who would go into school, and you'd either have people like pretending that they like you because for a minute you're cool and they want to be a part of it, but then saying stuff behind your back, and then like going into school in a place where you're the only person that looks like you and you're the only person who feels the way that you feel, and then being able to go home and put music and put myself online and people relate to it. It gave me like a safety, I feel like. And I think as long as that's in a safe environment and it's being monitored by people around you, like, great. But I think the most important thing is like having an outlet that you're not ashamed of and that makes you feel better. Like, I was writing all the time, every night. I was writing journals, I was writing poems, I was writing lyrics, songs. I was teaching myself the piano, I was teaching myself the guitar. When
Saxophone?
yeah, saxophone. When I was like getting trouble at school, if I was like going through it or whatnot, I'd just, not good advice, but I'd stand up and just walk out, and I would just take myself to the music room and make music. And a lot of my teachers hated me for doing stuff like that, but I think they all kind of knew like that's what that's what kept me going, really. And I think they all really liked me, really, and I think they just knew that like I was a bit of an outcast. And I think that like that's like I don't know, I think it's the only advice I could ever give to anybody going through anything like that is like make sure that you turn, because I'm a massive believer in energy, right? And what they're throwing at you is energy, right? And it might be negative energy, but what you do with the energy that they're giving you is in your control. So like if they're throwing negative energy at you, take it and turn it into something else, and turn it into something that's going to make you feel better. And like that's the only advice I could give to anybody.
I love that.
Yeah, because it is, right? If they're throwing their energy at you, it's still energy, and you can turn that into whatever you want. You can turn that into self-hatred, and you can turn that into stuff that's going to make you feel worse, or you can turn that into something beautiful, and you can turn it into art, you can turn it into music, you can turn it into drawing, you could turn it into writing, literally anything that you want to, even if it's just like it turns it into more energy for you to pursue what you want to pursue. Like remember that they're doing stuff, and what they're saying to you, it hurts, but like how you're in control of how you let it make you feel, and how you deal with it. Like you might not be in control of your thoughts and your feelings, but you're in control of what you do. So like how you know, and it's hard. Like I used to get into a bit of trouble with, like, because I'd never fight back. And I remember like you guys being just like, just fuck 'em up, just, do you know what I mean? And it's like, and I just never would, because I just never wanted to give into it. And like sometimes I get that it gets to a point where you have to, and like I did, and like I'd never take it back. But like at the same time, like you are in control with what you do with your energy, and if you want to do that, like, and if you think that's what's best for you, or if you want to turn it into something positive, then.
You got yourself out of it though, and you still managed to excel in school, in your exams. You did well. What do you think you'd be doing now if you wasn't doing this?
I don't know, it's crazy. I've gone through so many different life paths. I feel like I've lived 9 lives in 23 years. Like, I think when I was a kid, I've so easily could have gone down the wrong route, because I was a bit of a street raker. I was always out at the skate parks with people that were older than me and just like scooting and skating. But again, I had music to come home to, and that kind of kept me like passionate about something. And then like you said, I was terrible at school. I was really, really, and like I was a nightmare. I had bad grades. Layla was like, I remember when Layla started high school, and they'd be like, oh, Layla Boualili, like, you're Heidi's sister. And then they'd like think that she's going to be really bad, and she would get it in the neck. And like, because I was so bad. But then as I got older, and then like things got a little bit more difficult at school for me, and then I basically, that was the only time that it ever like shut me down. And I was just like, right, okay, I just got to crack on now. And it was in like year 10, I just decided that like I'm just gonna smash it out. And I put my head down, and I just got on with everything. I ended up taking that passion. I think I kind of let it get to me about the music thing, and I was then scared to post those videos, so I stopped posting music online, and I just put all of that energy into trying to learn to be smart, because I never was smart. And then I worked so hard at it that I was getting really good grades, and I was doing so much better than what I was previously, and I got, you know, really good grades in my GCSEs. I was then like going for head girl at school, and
I was a mentor as well.
Yeah, I was a mentor, I was a prefect, and I was doing all of that stuff. And then I was just like, well, you know, I then wanted to be a solicitor, go to law school. Then I wanted to play Miss Trunchbull in the West End. That was like my ultimate goal.
Your acting is actually great.
Yeah, I loved acting so much. When I found that became my new outlet instead of music, I got into like theatre. So like that was really like, I loved that. And then obviously I found myself back writing again. And I think I resented writing for so long, because I wanted to ignore the feelings that I felt. Because I think, like you said, with the bullying, I was fine when I was going through it. But I think there was a lot underneath me that I was like hiding. And I think I didn't want to write, because I knew that if I wrote, then that would all come out. So I think I spent a lot of time hiding. I remember the first song I wrote when I started going to uh, this like songwriting class. My friend at the song school, it was like "Pain, Pain, Go Away." Like that was literally the first line of the song, and I was like, well, I've obviously been dealing with some shit, and that was at like 15. That was like 16 years old writing that. Like if my kid wrote that at 16, I'd be like, "Are you good?" Like it's crazy.
It is.
But I think I spent so long not writing because of that reason, and then I found my way back to it. That's when I wrote like all of those songs and Poco Loco, and I started busking, and I really felt like I
down a wrong path.
Yeah, I just think I've always found my way back to music, and I think, like you said, what would I be doing if I weren't doing music? I could be doing anything because I don't know, it sounds big-headed, but I genuinely think that I'm the kind of person that if I told myself that I was going to do something, I'd make sure I'm the best at it.
Your work ethic, I have to say, your work ethic. Oh my God, I'm so jealous of it because you literally anything you put your mind to, that's it. You master it.
Yeah, as long as it's got nothing to do with numbers, maths isn't my thing. I think my thing is that I can talk myself into anything. Like I've got I'm so good with words, I'm so good with speaking that like I could talk myself into anything, any job, anything, but numbers, you can't fool numbers. Numbers are either right or wrong. So that's where me and numbers don't get along. But I genuinely I think that if I really wanted to be anything, I'd do it. But I think the problem is that I'd always find my way back to music. And I think that's like,
I don't think you can escape it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In this world, you can't. And I genuinely, I know that I could go and work a corporate job.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking struggling poor musician right now. Like, it's hard, you know. Like, I see people at my age at school who are like earning like bare money now. I see, you know, my little sister is finishing university and her salary is gonna be like so much more than me. And it's like, I still don't care.
But
like
you're not giving up on the dream.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. Like,
that if you get there, that is going to take you to some heights.
Yeah, and it's not about money.
What is the dream?
The dream.
Because why do you do all this? What is the dream?
I think it goes back to that whole like kid thing. I think the reason that I do what I do is because when I was 12, 13, and I was making those videos and everybody was taking the piss out of me, nobody saw the vision. Nobody saw like, oh, she could be something, because there was nobody that was like me. If I was like a mini like Ariana Grande or a mini, you know, Sabrina Carpenter, people could be like, oh yeah, I could see the vision. But there was nobody like me that was big enough that I think people saw the vision. But like, I think that I just want to be that for somebody else. Like, I just want to be like, if Heidi can do it, you know, she don't look like a girl, she's got short hair, she wears random clothes, you know, she makes music that, you know, is different. It's not always conventional, you know, she's jumping between genres and she's speaking real stuff, authentic stuff. If she can do it, I can do it. And I think that's my dream for me. Like, the dream is to just have my music heard by as many people as possible and to help as many people as possible through music, in the sense that like showing them that they can do it, whether they're a musician or not, they have a completely different outlet, but letting people know that like there's security in a community, and that like, I think just making people feel better through music, because sad songs, right? The reason that they're so good and they're so popular is because you relate to it and you don't feel as alone in what you're feeling. Happy music, you like it because it makes you feel good. Like, music is all kind of a reassurance thing. And for me, the reason that I want to do this is because I want to, well, like I said, it reassures me, it makes me feel better feel better about myself, but I also want other people to know they're not alone in whatever it is that they're feeling. I just feel like I got a story to tell and things to say, opinions that I want to talk about.
What would you say is your favourite track? Have you got one? Or is it hard?
What of
to actually choose of yours?
Of my songs? Okay. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I go through phases. I'm like such a loser. Like, I listen to my own music so much. Like, I'll be driving around in the car listening to it. I'll be playing it all the time. As soon as I get a new mix come through, like, I'm playing it, sending it to you guys and to my family. I love every song for a different reason. I think Poco Loco is so cool because it's like,
Oh,
it's, you know how you said like, it's timeless in a way that it's like, I want to make music that sticks around forever. I don't want to make music that's just going to be there for a moment, for a trend, for something like that. I want to make
Poco
music
Loco
that
won't be.
I can listen to in 10 years and it still be a good song. And like you said, you remember listening to Poco Loco 6 years ago.
Literally.
And if we can still listen to it now
7.
and like it,
Yeah.
like that's 6 years of like, yeah, this is still a good song. You know, normally you have a good song and it lasts for a moment and then it's gone. No one listens to it again.
I did it, and you were so young to
I
come
know,
out with
and
that.
like that's why I just want to make music that sticks. Like,
but I think you've certainly done that, and you're showing it now. We're seeing what's coming out of you. Everything is getting stronger lately. Everything that you do.
Yeah, I'm
excited. I'm like, whoa, where did this come from?
Yeah.
I mean, like, lesson learned for me lately. I've just been like feeling some, you know,
yeah,
getting
it's
out
crazy.
some rage on that one. I love
Cool.
that track.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely
excited.
love that track. But what is coming up now for you?
Yeah, I don't think I've actually said like to anybody what's coming, like obviously to you guys, but like I've not posted about it, I've not spoken about it. So obviously I've been working so hard on all of this music over the last year and I've really kind of honed it in on like these group of songs that I'm really proud of, and I'm basically going to be releasing like my first official like EP project that's going to be coming out. I'm not going to say the name of it yet because we are going to announce it really, really soon, but we basically got some songs dropping sooner than I even ever thought, like before the summer type vibes. So there is going to be new music out by me, Heidi Boualili. It's coming. I'm excited.
He's out there.
Yeah, I'm literally like, I've held off for so long, and the reason I've not posted or said anything is because I didn't want to say it and then 5 months down the line the songs still aren't out. Yeah. So like I wanted to make this like this quick. I wanted to come back and tell everybody like what I've been doing, who I am, why I do what I do, what's coming. Yeah. We got new music, we got new songs. Obviously, like I hadn't posted these songs at all until like last week for the first time, so everybody's hearing them for the first time. Yeah. So I'm gonna get those songs out there. We've got, like I said, the project coming. We've got just everything's happening really. Like we're basically just going full steam.
You're
get
in
the
a
music
great place
out
everywhere, even in your personal life.
Yeah,
everything's just flying for you right now.
Yeah,
you're on form.
Yeah, we're I think I genuinely feel like everything has come together at the right time. Like the music is ready to go. I'm happy. Like everything in my personal life is good. I feel like my family is like incredibly supportive. You guys, like mom, dad, everyone. I finally feel like I found somebody who like loves every single version of me. Yeah. And like, I don't know, I just feel like life has come to a point now where it's like everything's ready, and I just want to now show people that like
it's there,
who I am and what I'm doing. Like it's time to just,
and that's what you're doing.
Post it really.
I literally can't wait. So
it's coming.
It's all coming. People are going to see a lot more from you. You're not going anywhere soon because we can't get rid of you.
Yeah,
can we?
I think like I'd never disappeared really off of socials, but I think now it's like I'm not gonna stop until it's everywhere. No. Is the reality of it. Like I really believe in these songs, and I really think people deserve to hear them. And
they do
if
resonate.
anything, like I want to make my younger self proud. Like and like back to the 23 thing, like all of that happened in 2023. I'm now 23 years old as well. And also, I don't know if you noticed that I showed you the other day in those pictures that I posted, by accident in both pictures I'm wearing the number 23 too as well.
I mean,
which is crazy. I don't obviously I know that the reason that I put the 23 on my football shirt was because 23 was my favorite number, but obviously I was wearing a Chicago Bulls t-shirt in the other one, which was 23 anyways, Michael Jordan. But when I picked those pictures to announce it, I didn't intentionally pick them because of 23. I just picked whatever pictures I thought were cool, and it was those two that had 23. And look, I'm 23 years old now. The music is gonna be out while I'm 23, so don't think I'm gonna long it out. It's coming. So yeah, 23 is the year. Might just get a big 23 tattoo.
And also, I just think thank all your followers, which are now /fans that you've got, which travel from all over the country to actually see you perform.
There's some real people like.
How kind is that?
There's been like a ridiculous. I can't wrap my mind around it. Like there's people who come to shows that are like miles away.
I know.
Big up Sasha. There's this follower called Sasha. She's so cool. And she comes to like every show that I ever do. And at one of my shows she showed me, she has like a tattoo dedicated to like me and my music, and it's like almost the same as this one for Slow Replies, and it's got like I'm sorry, but somebody has like my name on their body. Like that's great. Like it's literally mental. Like
you'll never forget her.
Yeah, no, honestly, ever. Sasha, the real MVP. Anybody, literally anybody. Like there's people that I recognise. I think I'm still at a stage where everything's still quite small. So like the people that are always commenting, who are always showing love, who are like genuinely supporting what I'm doing, it's really easy for me to like recognise those people. And like there's so many people that like who have been around for years now that have just been like sat on my live stream when the only other person watching was my mum. Do you know what I mean? Like I think like big up to anybody who has like listened to the music.
Yeah.
Even if you're just discovering what I'm doing from these stuff, like these videos and like even this video now, like if you're discovering it and you like it, like big up yourself, because it's like it's really cool to see people like liking what I'm doing. And
where would be your dream festival or venue to play one day?
My dream venue is Wembley Stadium, because of Eminem. If I play Wembley Stadium, I'll die very, very happy. If not, I will. I genuinely don't think I'll have a goal that I'll ever be happy with, because I'll reach something and then I want something. Like I would love to play. Like right now, my goal is Lafayette. I don't know if you know Lafayette. It's where we saw Sam Tompkins in London at King's. I'd love to play there. Like that's a really nice, cool venue. I'd love to do a show there. And then like my big goal would be the Eventim Apollo Hammersmith. I'd love that. That's like, I think if I ever got to that stage, I would be like very content with myself. But then I know I'd get there and be like, no, I want to do the O2. And then I'd do the O2 and I'm like, no, it's Wembley Stadium.
I don't think you're ever giving up. You're going to get what you want.
Yeah, Madison Square Gardens, the whole thing. Yeah, the whole shebang. But look, I'm happy if I'm busking on the streets.
It's all happening for you. All I can say is I'm proud of you.
As long as she don't mind paying the bills, then I'm all right. I'm happy busking on the streets if she can. She can
sitting on the corner, being the supportive girlfriend.
Yeah,
she doesn't want to go on camera. So, but yeah, I think, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think I'm good. Just be ready for the new music. Really, it's coming. It's coming soon. I just wanted to introduce myself and let you guys know who I am, what I'm about. I've never done something like this long form to kind of tell my story a little bit in like more detail than what I've kind of spoken about in like a long Instagram caption. So if you stayed and watched it, brilliant. If you didn't, that's cool too. That's all right. Don't matter. But yeah, big up Lucy, the auntie.
First time.
What a Wally.
What a
Wally.
Complete Wally. But yeah,
cool.
I'm just proud of you.
Love ya.
Love you too, darling.
Imagine it weren't recorded that whole time. Erin's like,
oh, sorry, darling. Was that your one? Yeah, all right. Yeah. Yeah. You really should, Jane.